you made the transition from commercial real estate into learning. That's not a jump we typically see in this audience. So, and you mentioned that what really spurred it was an epiphany that you had at one point. So maybe you could start us there. What was the epiphany and what led you into learning?
Happy to share the story. So I was working for a Prudential Insurance Company, and I was in, finance after my pursuing my MBA, and I just wasn't happy. It just wasn't a fit for my skills, my values, my interests, and I just was really kind of at a loss. And I thought, what am I going to do next? And I was sitting in a training class one day as a participant, and watching the instructor and thinking, wow, that guy's got kind of a really interesting job. I wonder what that's all about. And then by the afternoon of watching him, I realized, you know what? I have those skills. I'm going into what was then corporate training. And so that was, I hate to admit it, but 20 years ago. So it was literally that epiphany of trying to figure out how I'm going to find something that I was interested in and passionate about. So I, kind of migrated slowly. I volunteered to do as much training as possible while I was still at Prudential. I got a little help with some coursework to make the transition. Of course, some training classes, right? The train the trainer stuff. And then I moved into it, and I've never really looked back or regretted it.
So you mentioned that one experience that was really formative in helping you make this jump, but obviously, as you mentioned, it's been a long journey to CLO. What are some of the key formative experiences that you had, the moments that you had that sort of said, either reinforced or gave you that accelerant to your career and your progress towards where you are now?
So I was working for a company that I loved. It was a small startup company within Merrill Lynch. And it was an amazing, high energy, really successful place, and worked really closely with the executive team to really cultivate this culture. And as part of that experience, I realized the power of aligning culture with the values of the organization and educating people to make sure we were all literally going in the right direction. And we were so phenomenally successful, and it was such a fun place to work. It made me realize how much companies would gain by really focusing more, right, on education and alignment with culture and strategy. And I loved the company so much, and it was really growing. But I needed help because I couldn't figure out how to take the organization to the next level. So huge plug for my friends up here from Master of Science in Learning and Organizational Change at Northwestern. I actually took myself back to school in 2004, and I went part-time for 5 years to get my second master's in Learning and Organizational Change, and that just helped me bring frameworks and thinking to the job. So that's, I think, part of the story of trying to reinvent yourself as you need to figure out what it takes to get to the next level.
Were there particular figures in that development path that you kind of laid out, from going commercial real estate into starting to experiment with learning and development roles, and then taking it on, and then actually getting degrees that help you illustrate that, or advance that work that you're doing? Are there particular figures that were instrumental along the way that as folks who are looking out here as their career advancement for a CLO might be able to learn from? Were there particular people that kind of pushed you forward or gave you that nudge towards where you're at now?
So yeah, I met a lot of phenomenal people as part of the MSLOC program. Shout out to Dory Blessoff in the front row up here for really helping to understand what it takes to really be a consultant, which I think is a core skill in this role, and how to really lead and manage change. So I think that was key. Also had another mentor, was kind of a tough love kind of person who said, so I don't know if you feel like you don't have confidence, I don't know what to say, just get over it. so there wasn't much in terms of like how to actually do that, but just a lot of people, I think, who stepped up and kind of pushed me out there and said, get out on the edge of that limb and find a way to fly.
Get over it. That's some good advice.
It's great advice. Yeah, and he told me that not once but twice now. So
save yourself on the MBA. Just get over it. That's what you need to do to advance your career.
Yeah.
So that's good.